guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm reviewing Mafia 3, the third installment of the critically acclaimed Mafia series. So make sure you have a car ready, make sure you have some ammo for that pistol, make sure you have a place to bury that body, and let's get started. That's right folks, the third installment of the acclaimed and well-known Mafia series has released and only puts you right back into the fire for more. You star as Lincoln Clay, a Vietnam War vet that's come back to his hometown New Bordeaux to settle down, live a solid life and just coast easily. That's the plan at first until Sal Marcano decides to take you out and everyone close to you out. Now it's up to you with some close ties and connections and some familiar faces to take down Marcano and his close staff of connections and run the city for your own in Mafia 3. Now see, when I first started playing Mafia 3, I had to compare it against the counterparts of the open world titles and see what it did better and what it lacked up against. Mafia 3 does have some better things than its counterparts because it includes certain little feats and features that most open world games seem to not go for. It has little intricate detailing, it impresses in certain levels, and it does certain things even better. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce to you the pros. My first pro for Mafia 3 is that the story in this game is done excellently. It gives you a documentary style campaign showing you what happened in the past as you play as Lincoln and do the missions that progress, while giving you updates on what's moving forward in the future of Lincoln's life, what he does after the events of Mafia 3, what he has going on currently, sightings of him, and so on and so forth. Mafia 3 does an excellent place on the storytelling within the title. It really grabs your interest within the story and never lets go. It's a pro for me. My next pro for Mafia 3 is that the cutscene graphics are impeccable. They really look good and have such an eye for detail within every character within the cutscenes. You can see pockmarks and acne within Lincoln's face, wrinkles on the older characters, and the aging done superbly. The cutscene graphics have a wonderful addition and touch to them as they give you such a definition of detail and really put focus into it. Mafia 3 certainly makes sure they give you a beautiful experience within these cutscenes and definitely had the definition and detail added to them. It's a pro for me. My next pro is that Mafia 3 gives you a realistic experience within the setting you're in. You're down in the South in Louisiana in the 1960s. Everything wasn't as peachy keen as racial matters ensued and went down for the black folk as the Southern Union and KKK went about. Hangar 13 gives a warning within this game that they weren't holding back from the racial matters, tension, and injustices that happened during these times, and they fully focused on giving you the most realistic experience about it. They nailed it in Mafia 3 and definitely made sure how it went down. It's a pro for me. My last and final pro for Mafia 3 is that it has a really good soundtrack to capture that essence of being in the 1960s. The soundtrack includes Iron Butterflies, In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida, Jefferson Airplane's White Rabbit, James Brown's I Feel Good, the Blues Brothers' I'm a Soul Man, Rolling Stones' Paint in Black, and many more titles that was a big deal around that time. Mafia 3 does a really fantastic job of holding down the essence with this well-down selection of songs in the soundtrack and just makes it great. It's a pro for me. Now, see, as I played through Mafia 3 and was really getting deep into the game, exploring things, finding things out, beating the story, doing the side missions and everything, it is very, very, very important to know that this game has some really, really glaring issues. It is a lot of problems with this game, and I don't mean from the technical aspect, it's just some things that's bad with this game, period. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce to you the cons. My first con for Mafia 3 is that Mafia 3 is a buggy and glitchy mess. Cars disappearing and falling through floors, lighting being too bright and sticking to Lincoln, blood turning into war paint on Lincoln's face, mirrors not showing Lincoln's reflection, cars going through other cars suddenly exploding out of nowhere, not being able to select your gun, not being able to move your character at times, and just downright buggy. Mafia has a ton of bugs and flaws that is open and right in your face as you play and progress. It can ruin the experience that the game is trying to tell. It's a con for me. My next con for Mafia 3 is that the AI is really bad. Even on the hardest difficulty, they're still bad. They don't try to switch it up on you or try to get a flank on you. They just do the same thing every time, and every gunfight and end up being cannon fodder from how bad they are. The AI lines up in a gunfight, just gets shot down from being easily in the open or not switching positions and just keeping it simple. It actually is disappointing at times because open world titles, the AI would try different maneuvers. In Mafia 3, not so much. It's a con for me. My last and final con for Mafia 3 is that the game gets really repetitive and pretty boring really quickly. The main missions to progress the game turn into side missions where you have to keep repeating the same things over and over again to progress to the next assassination. It can really get boring because you end up doing it all over again in a rinse repeat format. This really doesn't change either as you continuously do this throughout the game to take over. It gets boring, repetitive, and just loses the fun mark quickly. It's definitely a con for me. But all in all, Mafia 3 is pretty solid. From the documentary style campaign, to the well done cutscenes and accurate depiction of realism with the open racism and certain views back then, and even the great soundtrack, Mafia 3 does a really great job of that. But then Mafia also shows it has a terrible side with all the bugs and game breaking glitches it contains, the terrible AI, and just the boring and unfun repetitive missions over and over. It also takes away what Mafia 3 could have really been. But I'll be giving Mafia 3 a 3 out of 4. Alright guys, that concludes my review of Mafia 3. Stay tuned because I have many more reviews for you guys coming from Gears of War 4, Forza Horizon 3, Call of Duty Infinite Warfare and Modern Warfare Remastered, Watch Dogs 2, Final Fantasy 15, Skyrim Special Edition, Deus Ex Mankind Divided, Xenoverse 2, and many more games for you guys to come. So stay tuned for those reviews as well. Even if it's late, it's still going to be great, so watch out for those as well. Also, if you haven't been following my Let's Plays, I've been Let's Playing Until Dawn. We will be resuming it tonight, but we will be finishing over the course of the week. So if you haven't seen the previous episodes, you can always go to my channel and check out any of the previous episodes, and I'll put them all in the description box below where you can watch them all. Also, if you haven't seen my previous review, which is on a small indie title called Xenoraid, you can view the video or you can read the written article and watch the video at the same time at tickgm.com. Links to those will be in the description box below as well. And if you want to follow me on my Twitch and Twitter, links to those will be in the description box below as well, where you can follow me on both. So until next time and until the next review, guys, we'll tune in, turn up, and throw down. I'm out.